Welcome to Lesson 2, Topic 7, Working with the Speaker on the Circuit Playground Express. It's a very modest speaker, but it is capable of playing frequencies for a certain duration, which means we can play notes. So let's get to it. So visiting our Circuit Playground reference library website, we can see here that for the speaker, there is a function called Playtone. The Playtone function requires essentially just two pieces of information, a frequency and a time for the duration to play the particular frequency. The time is measured in milliseconds. So a good frame of reference would be, 1,000 is 1 second. Now you may see this additional parameter here of wait equals true, which means right now that when you use the play tone, it's going to play the tone before moving on to anything else. You could experiment with setting this value to false, which conceivably means that it would play several tones together. But for this video, we're going to keep it simple. We're not even going to include this parameter when we use the play tone. So let's try it out. I believe it's this one. Okay, so it's real simple, nothing sophisticated about this command. So circuit playground dot Playtone, and it needs a frequency. I'm going to use 262 for 500. Now 262 is middle C in terms of a piano. So again, you don't have to be a musician to be able to appreciate that you can play sounds with a Circuit Playground Express. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to put a delay of 1 second, just so we have a little break in between. I'm going to bring up my camera, but honestly, we're not going to see much to this. So let's go ahead and upload it. And there you go. That's the middle C. And as you can see, it's a rather annoying sound. Again, that speaker is not high fidelity. So you got a couple of options here. One is to cover it with your hand. One is to try to cover it with something else. You could disconnect it, which I'm going to do here in a second, but that only is going to take the power off. So let me show you that. So obviously it's not getting power anymore. But the minute you reconnect it, remember, it's going to play the last program that was loaded on here. So the sound's going to start playing again. You might be tempted to hit the reset button, but the reset button just resets the program. So right now I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect it. And I would suggest that when you play with the Playtone to have another program available that has nothing in it. And the reason being is that then we can load up this program, which will wipe out the existing program. But in order for this to work, you now have to reconnect it. You have to put up with the sound for a little bit and then load it up. So you can see here, as the process of loading it up, it will wipe out whatever program was already in there. So that's one way to kind of avoid the annoying sounds if you're not ready to kind of play your full symphony on the Circuit Playground Express. But let's talk about how we could do something like that. So we got to think about frequencies and music. So every note, let's say on a piano, is associated with particular frequencies. So here's a chart that converts musical notes to frequencies. And here's that 262 I was talking about, the middle C. And then we have letters B, A, G, which are things that you would see in music sheets. And that's where we're going to go to next. Now, the music sheet that I selected is something a little simpler for us to read, so we don't necessarily have to learn how to read music. But it's something that you see kids do using the xylophone, where it's a sheet of music, but they just put the letters on there and they color-coded it. So we can see here we got several musics. We got Row, Row, Row Your Boat, Ring Around the Rosie, I'm a Little Teapot. And this is the one that I'm going to demonstrate next. So you can see here we have C, D, E, F, G, C, A, C, and so on. So we know the notes, the relative notes. what is missing out here is the durations. So I'm making an assumption of all the durations. So I already programmed this and just kind of bring it up. So we can see here, this is the frequency for C, here's the frequency from D, and these I got from this other website, this other resource. So I do C, D, E, F, G, and so on. I'm playing them all for a fifth of a second. Again, I'm not necessarily sure if that's the best route to go with this, but again, I'm not a musician myself either, so this is what I'm going to do. Let's play it. Let's see what it sounds like. So let's upload it. And I'll pull up the... So is it great? Not necessarily, but it definitely lets you see that there is the possibility for something nicer. So let me go ahead and load up that blank one again. Put it on this side now. I'm gonna connect it up. I'm gonna upload that. Now what I do have for this particular video is a more polished version. Again, it includes some code that we have not discussed yet as part of the course, as part of this video series. But what you do see here is that there are notes and there are specific durations. So again, you could ignore the code at this point. I'm going to connect this up and let's play it because this will sound a lot nicer because the notes are associated with specific durations. So let's try it out. So as you can see, that's a lot nicer. Disconnect it for now. All right, so let's go back to our presentation. Let's review what we've done. So in this lesson 2, topic 7, we reviewed that the Circuit Playground has a speaker, which will allow us to play frequencies and durations using the Playtone command. Using these frequencies, we can actually string together various notes to play sounds. So hopefully you're excited. Hopefully you have some musical talent and maybe you could play something awesome on your Circuit Playground Express. Enjoy.